I'm so excited to arrive at Las Vegas in a few hours. Not exactly sure why we decided to take a train to get there, but I'm thankful our seats are comfy and come with this complimentary wine and sticks of dynamite. That's a great disguise you've got on, Miss Joy Mo. Pause for laughter.
Thanks, Stephen Gross. I designed the outfit myself. May I ask what is up with your clothes?
I like broccoli.
Enough said. While we wait for the train to arrive in Vegas, I was like totes curious if there were any benefits to being a part of Philanthro besides the knowledge I'm giving back and getting the opportunity to learn things I never could at my full-time job.
You mean like monetary benefits?
Something like that. I know that no one gets paid for volunteering, but what about tax deductions?
Excellent query, Joseph. Before we go any further in this conversation, I'm legally obligated to tell you that I'm a sexual predator. No. I meant to say that I'm legally obligated to tell you that I'm not a licensed tax professional, and before making any decisions on your taxes you should definitely consult one. Anyway, yes, there are benefits to volunteering for a nonprofit organization like Philanthro.
Can I deduct the time I spend volunteering, Mr. Gross? I feel like my time is very valuable. Joy Mo.
No, silly pants, I'm afraid not. While your volunteer hours given to this organization may be priceless, the IRS literally considers them this way, and you are not allowed to assign a value to them on your tax return.
Well, that's unfortunate. What about the cost to drive to meetings, events, and blah, blah, blah?
Yes. You can deduct car-related expenses incurred while traveling to nonprofit meetings and events. You can either keep a detailed log of actual expenses you incur related to gas, oil, and maintenance, or you can simply deduct the standard mileage rate of 14 cents per hour. You can also deduct parking fees regardless of whether you track actual expenses or use the standard mileage deduction.
Now you're talking, broccoli man. What about other travel expense, like flying to Vegas and staying at Planet Hollywood?
Well, Miss Emo, that is an interesting question. You can deduct travel expense, including a reasonable amount for meals and lodging, incurred due to conventions, or performing services for a qualifying organization like Philanthro. But, the IRS states that, and I quote, you can only deduct these expenses if there is no significant element of personal pleasure, recreation, or vacation in the travel.
What? Shenanigans. How am I supposed to know if this trip to Vegas qualifies?
Again, I'm no tax advisor, but I'm guessing if the trip involves drinking until you vomit and pass out. Looking at you unnamed volunteers, it probably doesn't qualify for a tax deduction. If you're only on the trip for nonprofit business and not enjoying any extra days of vacation, the trip is most likely tax deductible. Even if you enjoy the trip, you can take a charitable contribution deduction for your travel expenses if you are on duty in a genuine and substantial sense throughout the trip. However, if you have only nominal duties, or if for significant parts of the trip you do not have any duties, you cannot deduct your travel expenses.
Ha. Duties. Lovely. What about out-of-pocket expenses that I incur because of volunteering? Like if I have to use wireless internet at the airport to respond to an important email, or I have to photocopy an important document. What if I have to mail some documents of the utmost importance, Stevie? Oopsies, I let out a turf Ferguson. Sorry.
Boy, that is stinky. But to answer your question, these types of expenses normally qualify for tax deductions as long as they are not reimbursed by Philanthro.
Lovely, dearest.
Here's a random fun fact: if you ever find yourself in open waters, you may be able to deduct as a charitable contribution the reasonable and necessary whaling expenses paid during the year in carrying out sanctioned whaling activities. To claim the deduction, you must be recognized by the Alaska Eskimo Whaling Commission as a whaling captain charged with the responsibility of maintaining and carrying out sanctioned whaling activities.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. I was lost in your beautiful eyes.
No worries, it happens all the time. Do you have any other questions?
Just one more, dance off.
Always.
Begin the 10 seconds of hot and wild dancing doorman. Lovely.
Quite. Back to tax matters, remember Joy, I'm not a licensed tax professional and most likely you'll end up taking the standard deduction anyway. If you want more information, or you really like tormenting yourself, make sure to check out publication 526 on the IRS website.
Joymo. Joymo. Joymo.
Weird. And scene. Good night everyone.